To start by thanking them to take the time to be here today. First, I'll just go around the table and just introduce you very briefly with your name and title. Then I will ask each one of you to introduce themselves. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that, very, very Silicon Valley style. And after that, we'll get into it and ask you a list of questions, one each. I ask you to keep it tight and short and sweet. And after that, we will open it up to questions from the audience. So I'll start from here. So we have here in our panel Kathleen McCall from Carr & Farrell. She's a corporate attorney at the firm. Hanson Gifford, President and CEO of the Foundry. Giacomo Marini next, VC and co-founder of Logitech. Ned Hooper, Senior Vice President of Corporate Business Development at CISCO Systems. And Shell Israel, a blogger, tech blogger, and author of Naked Conversations. In Italy, we have Arturo Arton, founder and CEO of Your Truman Show. Roberto Bonanzinga, VC at Balderton Capital. Luigi Orsi Carbone, first generation network angel investor. Yo Andrew Leidersdorf, I hope I'm spelling that right. Serial entrepreneur and founder of YL Ventures. And Stefano Venturi, managing director of CISCO Systems Italy. So what I'd like to do, I'd just like to start, and starting from Kathleen, 30 seconds to introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kathleen McCall. I am a corporate associate with Carr & Farrell. Carr & Farrell has been in Silicon Valley for 15 years now, and we specialize in basically the high-tech startup, the Silicon Valley business model. We have everything that a startup company can need, from patent attorneys, corporate associates, trademark, and whatever else you might need. I've been with the firm for the past 8 years. I've probably done over 100 venture deals, mergers and acquisitions, all of the liquidity events, and I do basically anything that a young and growing company needs.
Perfect. Hanson Gifford?
Hanson Gifford. I run a small medical device company incubator group called the Foundry. We've started over a dozen companies at the Foundry over the past 9 years. Spent my life in medical devices, perhaps most relevant to this discussion. Early in my married life, my wife and I were certain that we wanted to go experience a foreign country and live in somewhere else. Our aim was a little bit off. We ended up in southern Germany rather than northern Italy, but learned firsthand the challenges of trying to start a business from scratch when there isn't the Silicon Valley type ecosystem there to support you. If you ask my wife what her favorite aspect of our time in Germany was, it was being so close to northern Italy. So I'm happy to be here.
Giacomo Marini, please.
My name is Giacomo Marini. I'm founder and managing director of Noventi, a venture capital firm that I started in 2002. I grew up and studied in Italy. I took a challenge in my university degree because I enrolled in computer science in 1970, which was a very new thing in Italy. And then I worked at IBM and Olivetti for a while, and then started Logitech with another Italian, Luigi Zappacosta and Daniel Borrell, and we quite soon decided that we couldn't build a large technology company in Italy at the time. This was 1982, so in 1982 Pierluigi moved to Silicon Valley first, then I moved, and then Daniel Borrell moved. So we we helped grow that company that is now a significant player in the industry. And in 2002, I started this second, what I consider my second entrepreneurial initiative, which is to start from scratch a venture fund. We raised our first fund, and we have been quite successful with our first fund, and we are now raising a second fund and going forward building a successful venture firm.
Very good, Matteo. Thank you very much. As Matteo mentioned, I'm the Senior Vice President of Corporate Development here at CISCO. Corporate development is the activity in CISCO that drives our acquisition, investment, and partnership strategies, particularly focused around growth. I've been with the company about 10 years, and like over 20% of our employees joined through acquisition. So my background lies in startups and in the entrepreneurial world. Every time I get the opportunity to welcome new companies to join CISCO, I always reference that I'm now 10 years into my 2-year commitment with the business. But the best part about my job today is to continue to work with entrepreneurs and finding innovative companies that can help us expand our business, and look forward to the interaction today as we help incubate the industry within Italy.
Shaliza?
As you mentioned, Matteo, I'm a co-author of the book Naked Conversations, which is the best-selling book on the subject of blogging in business. Prior to that, I spent 25 years consulting startups, a lot of it as a PR consultant. I describe myself as a recovering PR person now. My current interest has shifted to the impact of social media on global entrepreneurialism.
Thank you. Now to Italy, I'd like to ask Arturo Arthur to introduce himself.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, good morning, everybody in Silicon Valley. And my name is Arturo Arthur, and I am an entrepreneur. I started my career in '93, startup in Tel System, that at the time was the first company to manage to grow a monopoly in Europe on voice telephony. Then I served as a manager, as vice president of Omnitel, it was the second mobile operator in Italy. And then back in '99, I found my most important company, that is a European company, it's called System, leader in DSL using satellite. And then 2-3 years ago, I transformed myself in a serial entrepreneur, start up in new companies, financing interesting guy that had ideas on mixing made in Italy technology. 1 year ago, thanks to my partner in growth, I went to Stanford and fall in love with Silicon Valley and decided to finance a new idea directly in San Francisco. We started up the Truman Show, that is the company working on the video search environment, looking to mix a Facebook approach with a YouTube approach, so leading the media to create community. And that's my story.
Roberto Bonantinga.
Okay, sorry. Hi, my name is Roberto Bonanzini. I'm a partner for a VC firm called Buzzleton Capital. Maybe you know that better under the name of Benchmark Europe. We just rebranded, and among our portfolio, accounting of MySQL or Betfair, Vivo, Bito Internet, and New Year. In terms of my personal background, actually I'm very new to the venture capitalist world. I spent most of my time on the other side as an entrepreneur, as a manager, both in the San Francisco Bay Area, where I was involved with several startups, and then here back in Europe, where I came back in year 2000. And my objective is quite simple. I just joined Buzzleton with basically a year of doing something that is quite typical in the Bay Area, that is being a venture capitalist, but with a hat typical of an entrepreneur, and looking at entrepreneurs like one of them, instead of with that sense of distance and a bit of judgment maybe in some cases. That's it.
Hi, good evening, good morning.